Hello out there in YouTube land. This is Morrisman. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a short special video for, I believe the name is Chorus World. And he had a question. He said, you mentioned in your other video that you're a songwriter. And I was wondering if you have any tips or tricks in terms of writing guitar licks or rhythm parts, bass parts, and maybe lyrics. Could you possibly do a video on that? Sure, I can do that. Actually, I got a couple other videos I've done in the past about songwriting, but there's some other stuff that I can add to this video, so I'm going to do it. And I started off writing songs, I said maybe in high school, actually, attempting to. And I guess the answer to your question, and it might sound, tedious or whatever, but just keep practicing, keep doing what you're doing, and you will evolve. If you have the talent to do it, it will surface. And I can't stress this more. What helped me as a songwriter, and I believe Prince too, was multi-track recorders. I mean, those things are priceless because if you have a guitar part in your head, you can lay it down. You have a bass part that you think that might complement that, you can lay it down and hear them together as opposed to just playing your guitar part and just playing your bass afterwards. But with the multi-track, you can layer tracks. You can layer your vocals, harmonies. You can layer your guitar parts. And that helped me tremendously as far as this does work, And another thing I stress is a formal education in music, meaning get a music teacher, because if you are able to read and know a little bit about theory, it makes it much easier than I'm just dabbling by ear, because that ear will only take you so far. And that's what pushed me to go back to learn how to read music was my ear had went to its limits. It's like you can only go so far with your ear. And when you go to professional gigs, they expect you to be able to read music anyway. So that was another reason why I decided to say, let me try this again, because I initially tried it, and I ran into what most of you guys run into, music teachers that teach you a lot of stuff you never use and won't teach you the stuff that you want to learn to do what you want to do, and that's to basically play stuff off the radio. So, keep searching until you can find somebody, because I have some DVDs for sale, DVD 1 and 2, that cuts through the chase, because what I'm trying to do is what Scott the piano player has done for piano. I'm trying to do the same for guitar, meaning that instead of you studying for 5 years and just kind of giving up and realizing that you can't do or play the way you want to, I cut through the chase as far as things that you need to know now and practice, and you'll be able to play this stuff off the radio in a couple of months as opposed to 7, 8 years down the line, because it's not necessary for the music teachers to give you all this stuff. But they've been trained or taught to teach you that way. So it's not that they're deliberately trying to sabotage your growth as a musician. They've been taught a certain way and they passing it on. But it doesn't have to be that way. Because what I know now, I could have learned within a year time if I would have been able to know what I needed to know and work on just those things. But now I know, and I'm trying to pass that on to the newer generation, where you don't have to rely on tabs as far as people telling you where to put your fingers and all that nonsense, because I really don't believe in that. You want to know why you're putting your fingers there, because if you know why, you don't have to have somebody just tell you, put your finger here on the 3rd fret and then take the other. That's a waste of your time, and it really is. But I'm going to touch on a few things that I didn't touch on in these other videos. And the first one was the multi-track recorder. You can get a cheap Tascam recorder for like maybe $50 on eBay. Those things are priceless. Again, you can lay down your ideas. One of the other things I want to touch on was, and I really wasn't going to get into this because I got to be careful, because if I don't do it right, I could get my tail sued, and I don't want to go there. But what I'm talking about is the concept of ghostwriting. And what ghostwriting is when someone else or a group of other people compose a musical piece, or it could be a comedy piece, and another person takes credit for it. And how that works is you write something and you decide, or someone comes to you and say, I would like to use this, and claim it as my own. I will give you a large amount of money up front, and then you have to sign a release form, a gag order, to say that, later, I wrote that, because they don't want you to do that. So they either give you a large money sum up front, or you can go the traditional way of keeping your rights to the song, your name, credits on there, and you get paid royalties. And with the royalty thing is, you know, you don't know what's going to be a hit. You know, you might write a song that you think is going to be a hit, and it sells only a few units, and you get like maybe $50 to $200 to $500 off the whole total thing as far as the royalties, as opposed to someone saying, I'm gonna give you $25,000 to $50,000 today to take this song, because we do see the potential. So a lot of times you make your decision on your own, because I'm one of them people where I want to separate fame and fortune. I want the fortune, you can keep the fame, because I want to be able to go to the grocery store and go get milk and bread without somebody pointing me out, tugging on me, threatening me, stalking me. You know, I never was one of them people that want to be in the front spotlight. I'm one of them guys behind the scenes that's writing and arranging. So on many occasions, I personally have taken the ghostwriter's deal. Matter of fact, I heard a song that I wrote on the radio about a week ago. I wrote it like 12 years ago. And I listen to these things and I smile. And a lot of people don't realize the things that I have accomplished, because I can't tell them because of the legality of it. And I can live with that, because, again, you know, it was about taking care of my family, you know, being able to provide for them, not necessarily, I wrote that song, but I only got $500. So, you know, that is a route that you can take. There's nothing wrong morally about that. It's a business arrangement, because the music industry is about imagery as well as talent. You could be a very nice-looking person, male or female, but you don't have no talent. But they can market your beauty. You know, get some people that write for you, and you claim you wrote it, and they can market that. But there's some people that look like average people that they say, well, we can't market you in that way that we can market these beautiful people. So your record sales probably wouldn't be a lot, because, unfortunately, we live in a very vain society. And I totally understand that. And I'm like, okay, well, I just want the money. It ain't that I'm greedy for money, but I'm like, okay, this is an agreement, and we compromise. Because, again, I could do without the fame, you know, just as long as I'm able to take care of myself and my family in the style that I'm accustomed to, I'm fine with that. So, you know, that's kind of the spill on ghostwriters, because there are a lot of people that have written a lot of big hits that you hear on the radio that they don't get credit for. They will never get credit because of that imagery thing, and, you know, they wrote all this stuff, because a lot of people think that Prince back in the day wrote all that stuff. No. Andre Simone wrote half of that stuff back in the 70s. Morris Day wrote some of that stuff, and some other people. But Prince took 100% credit, because he kind of paid them off, and the record company wanted to market him as, this is the guy that can do everything. He play all these instruments, he write all the songs. And, you know, he can write many songs by himself, but a lot of those big songs back in the day, Andre Simone co-wrote them, you know. But Andre Simone can't really talk about that, you know. Let's see. I touched on that. I'm not going to make this one long. Again, I'm just going to kind of, you know, emphasize as far as the writing thing. That comes naturally. When you're around people that do that, you start to develop that ability to do that. So I recommend, you know, if you're guitar players, try to play a little bass, because it's good to be able to play at least two instruments if you're thinking about writing songs, because you can approach the songwriting from the guitarist aspect and the bass player. And if you play keyboards, a little of that, you can do that too. I wrote a lot of my stuff by myself, because I can play all these instruments. So I know where these instruments lie, you know, within the spectrum of the song and the stereo spectrum. So, you know, I recommend, you know, trying to pick up another instrument, and not necessarily being prolific on it, but just play it well enough to write down your ideas as far as I can with a nice bass line. Now, what can I do as far as a guitar part to accompany that and complement that? And you can play it yourself and lay it down on your multi-track, and you can kind of hear. And if you don't think that you're good enough to play these songs in its entirety length, you can go get another bass player once you've kind of mapped out the bass line, a guy that can play perhaps a little better and add a little more flavor to it. You know, that's actually a good idea too, because we used to do that too. I write a lot of my stuff on keyboard, but when I recorded it, I went and got, quote unquote, a keyboard player. And he said, okay, I see what you were trying to do. It's nice. Let me add a little more to that. You know, so I guess that's all I can leave you with as far as songwriting. Just keep doing it. Hang around people that do it. And, you know, you will start to slowly develop or evolve. So on that note, I'm signing off until next time. Take care.